Hello and welcome. This is Dragonfly, and you're watching Dragonfly Gamer UK. This is a new Let's Play. This time playing Dyson Sphere. Um, this is another game on early access on Steam. Goes through regular updates. You're basically a robot, and you land on a planet basically with nothing. You have to mine local resources and start building manufacturing and production facilities, and start putting solar panels into orbit to create a Dyson Sphere. A Dyson Sphere, for those who don't know, is a way of encapsulating a sun completely within a larger sphere. That could be solar panels or something else, and harvesting all of the energy outputted by that sun. Obviously solar panels aren't a great example because they're only about 20% efficient and you get a lot of heat and things like that, but it's a way, if you could capture all of that energy output from the sun, that's the intention of a Dyson Sphere, to harvest the sun's total output and convert it into usable energy. That's kind of what this picture is depicting here. You've got the sun in the middle and you have rings of, these are solar panels, to capture that energy. So, without further ado, let's start a new game. Let's just start with the vanilla setup. Random. If you click random, it also changes your. Actually, prefer that one. I think your local star cluster gives you a new seed. So yeah, we'll go with this one. Start game. Okay, so here we are in our spaceship, heading towards the planet.
Welcome to the actual universe. You may find it's different from our homeland. Should you be able to adapt to the laws of physics in a short time, I am your advisor and will help you through this mission.
So yeah, this is initial game help at the start of a new game. So there we go. You always start on a binary.
Everything here is yours. As one of Cosmo and the pioneer of the Dyson Sphere program, you will explore this cluster step by step. By using the resources here to construct the Dyson Sphere to provide energy for the center brain to maintain homeland, starting from scratch. I have chosen a designated planet for you to start the mission, which has necessary resources for initial development. Now please drive the space capsule to the planet.
As I was about to say, you always start on a binary planetary system with one gas giant and one called Earth-like planet. This is what we're currently flying towards. You don't have any real control over this at the moment. I mean, you can move, but the intention is just to land on the planet.
Now you are about to reach the designated planet.
You can see clusters of objects on the surface other than the trees. Crystalline structures, they are the resources. So that's copper on the right there, iron on the left. There is stone, there is coal, there is oil.
This is Icarus, a lightweight industrial mecha with powerful functionality. You can use the arrow keys or right-click on the destination to control its movement. In this mission, you will manipulate Icarus to travel beyond the stars and create miracles.
So by clicking on a point on the ground, you will walk there.
Now try to recycle the space capsule. Right-click on it to recycle.
So you harvest things, doing a tree to show you, by right-clicking on them. And then I've just got 11 logs and 17 plant fuel. He wants us to recycle the lander at the moment. Let's quickly do that.
You can use the same operation to collect resources, such as trees, gravel, etc. In the meantime, hold down Shift and right-click to give a series of commands.
So, as you say now,
you receive several items after recycling
commands.
the space capsule. Click the inventory button in the lower right corner of the screen to open the cabin to view them.
Or you can just press F. F will open your inventory as well. C brings up your mecha. So you have a fuel chamber here. You have to periodically refuel yourself. And see, you've got an energy bar down the bottom, 82 megajoules. That
You can hold
decrease.
down mouse middle button drag to rotate the angle of view, or slide the mouse wheel to zoom in and out.
As you zoom further and further out, later in the game, you step out to sort of planetary view, and then solar system view, and then star view. But currently we're stuck with this. So press F again to close that, to clear these off.
Yet you have not unlocked the construction menu, which will be done automatically when complete any technology research. Click the technology tree button at the bottom right of the screen to open the technology tree and activate a research.
T key does the same thing. That's technology research. So here's our research tree. As you can see, there's technology, and then there's upgrades. They've actually expanded this, I think, since the last time I played. Looks to be more on here. Let's see. Yeah, it looks to be quite a bit bigger. So this is where we are at the moment. That's what we've got. First thing I want to do is research electromagnetism, and that's telling us we need 10 magnetic coils to research that. So T again. Press F, and we've got some on this side, on the right hand side here is our constructor menu. It's components and buildings. Components, we see our magnetic coil. If we click on that, it tells us to build a magnetic coil. We'll take 1 second to get 2 of them, and we need 2 magnets and 1 copper ingot. By clicking on any one of these, it will then show you what you need for those. So for magnet, you need iron ore. To make 1 magnet takes 1.5 seconds. Click back on this. Copper plate, you need, funny enough, copper ore and 1 second. So let's just close that for the moment. So we've got iron ore here. If I right click on it, we will start harvesting it. So let's harvest about 20 of these. You will be pleased to know you can automate this very shortly. Okay, now if I look around, there was some copper somewhere. There it is. So again, about 20 copper. I'm just looking around, seeing what other resources are available. I think that's coal. That'll do. That's just. I believe this is coal. Let's have a look. Let's right click on it and see what happens. Yeah, coal. So what we can use coal for is generating power not only for our buildings but also for our mecha. These resources are not infinite. They do run out. As you can see, that square there, or that hexagon there, whatever, circle there, is 36.2k of units. The one I'm digging at the moment is 41.2. They do reduce, they do go down. That noise is a bit loud. I don't know if that's too loud to hear me, if I'm honest. I'm just going to quickly, bear with me. Hopefully that's a bit better. Hopefully it's not so loud now. It seemed really loud to me, that. You should know I'm partially deaf. I wear hearing aids, and I have sound Bluetooth through my hearing aids. So I find it really difficult to judge the sound levels. Anyway, get back to what we're doing. So we need 10 magnetic coils to carry out this first research. So we now have the copper ore. We can either click on the copper ore to manufacture that, click on the plus, say 10 of them, produce. But rather than having to go through every step of this, if you have the necessary resources in your inventory, what you can do, just click the item, select how many you want, and click go. And it will produce the lower level resources for you. So that's producing the magnets from the iron. We've already produced a copper plate, so it will then produce the magnetic coils. And you can see up here, we've got a slightly, we are now researching and we're going through our magnetic coils using them. Just wait, they're completing, shan't be long. Last one. There we go. So that is that research complete. That has freed up, opened up some more research, or some more items for us. Wind turbines for generating energy. Tesla tower, it's basically a power pole for transferring power, and a mining machine for mining the resources. So you'd have to sit there mining them. So we need to build some of these. So the first thing to do is build some wind turbines. So F again. This is building.
You have created a mining machine to achieve ore collecting automation. Pick it up from the inventory, or select it on Gathering of Construction menu to build it.
Okay, it's actually given us some as part of the research. So if you look, we've got one wind turbine, one power pole, and one miner. So let us stick a miner over by the iron. You use a lot of iron. Let's just walk over this way. There's various tabs down the bottom. At the moment we've only got 2, or 3, click the X. That is power, so power poles and the wind turbine. 2 is our mining, our resource gathering. Currently all we've got is a mining machine. Later on you have other things in there like pumps for pumping seawater and oil wells for tapping into oil seeps. They're another resource on the planet. The water and oil seeps are the only ones that are limitless. These other resources which you have to mine, like I say, are finite and they will run out. And they run out quicker than you think. So, click on our constructor.
You can use the R key to rotate the mining machine for covering more veins. The more veins covered, the faster the ores will be gathered. If you want to ignore grid snapping, try holding down the Shift key.
So zoom in a bit, come over the top. You'll see as I move this around how many units of iron it is covering. And where it's red it can't be placed, where it's blue it can. Press R, rotate it. The idea is just to try and get as many as you can really. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is about as much as you're going to get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That'll do. There. Left click and your construction robot.
One of your production facilities is not powered. You need to keep it within the power coverage area and supply it with power facilities in order to maintain its normal works.
Sorry, as I was saying, when the construction drones goes out and builds a unit, right click to get rid of the build menu. What he's complaining about there is we don't have any power, so we need to put down a Tesla tower, and as you see there's a circle on it, and the building needs to be within that circle to receive power. So click that, there goes a construction drone.
You have done building the first power transmission facility, Tesla Tower. It can carry out short distance wireless power transmission and expand the power supply area of the power grid. Click on it to view the current power grid information.
Next we need a wind turbine, and you can see there's a dotted line. If that dotted line is there, that means it's within range of that Tesla tower and it will provide power. Just click that over there. One of our construction drones goes off and places it.
Wind turbine. You have established your first power grid. Not all power facilities has its power supply area. Use the Tesla tower to extend the area of the power grid.
So what he was on about earlier, if you click on any one of your Tesla towers, it will tell you how much power you need, how much your satisfaction is. So we are meeting the full demand of the mining machine at the moment. We're creating 300 kilowatts, demand is only 24 kilowatts, so we've got lots of spare energy at the moment, although that will change rapidly. If I click on the mining machine, we now have 50 resources. I can just double click on that and that was transferred then to my inventory. I need some more mining machines because I need to mine the copper and the coal, so I've queue up 2 of those. I have what I need in my inventory, so it's using everything from my inventory to build those. That's just finished again, so I'll just quick transfer that. And I also need some more Tesla towers, because obviously if I click on that one, the range, click that, the range isn't that great, and I want to be able to harvest from, oh, where was that? Copper over there, and the coal there, so I'm going to need some more Tesla towers. So F, Tesla towers, let's create 5 if we can, there we go. It doesn't need a huge amount of resource to build a Tesla tower, thankfully. Let's quickly build those up. There we go. So I now, in our energy menu, it's telling us we have 5 Tesla towers. Got no wind turbines yet in our inventory, but we do have 2 mining machines. So Tesla tower, when I come over this way to start mining the coal, so let's see, where can we get quite a few coal. That'll do for now. I can always change it. It's not the most in demand resource, or the most critical resource, coal. And I've got sticking Tesla tower down, so the mining machine's inside it, and there's also got the dotted link to the other Tesla tower. The construction drone goes off, build that. Let's just take these resources, and then I want to go over here to the copper. Yep. That's not a particularly big copper vein, but it'll do for now. So mining machine, rotated. There you go, I'm covering everything there, build that. And now I need the Tesla towers to connect that to our power supply. So as you can see, if we come too far, the link goes away. You lose a dotted line, which is our link. So link as far as it can. And then put another one down here. And now we are generating capacity 300 kilowatts, consumption's 468. So you can see now we're not meeting our demand. So now I need some wind turbines. This is just to get us going. I will have to do some more research and start researching some additional items, which is what I'll do next. So while that's doing that, let's see what do we need to just research next. So we have basic logistics. That will give us conveyor belts, which are very useful for moving goods around. Storage containers. What else have we got? We have automatic metallurgy, which gives us our smelter for smelting the ores into ingots and for making glass. Electromagnetic matrix for producing our blue research cubes, and our matrix lab, which is where you automate the research. You can line up research and it takes care of it, as long as it's got these blue later on as red, yellow, magenta, different coloured cubes it needs, and these cubes need to be manufactured from other items. So that's what that one's for. Not worried about that at the moment. Basic assembler, so if you want to constantly create a number of electromagnetic coils, you can have an assembler with the inputs being the magnets and the copper sheets, and it will output electromagnetic coils. This is where the conveyor belt and the automation comes in. What else do we have? Fluid storage, again, it's similar to the solids. You can't actually put fluids on the conveyors, or you can use a fluid storage, but and there's our water pump. This one, yeah, you will use it eventually, but you normally get away with using the conveyor belts to begin with. High efficiency plasma control. You will need this for building more advanced Tesla towers. The wireless power tower can actually recharge your mecha, and it has a longer range than Tesla towers, so you will need that. Electromagnetic drive basically gives you motors, which you will need for lots of other things. So for now, that's what's available to us, but we've also got upgrades. You can see there's lots of upgrades on here. So the first upgrade allows you to see the veins of resources on your planet. It needs 10 blue matrix. Obviously we can't manufacture them yet. Mecha core, that gives you more power for your mecha. That just needs copper plates and iron plates, or copper and iron ingots. It's always good to have more power, but it's not critical at the moment. Keep going down. Main visualization unlocks -6 ore consumption. So it speeds up your mining and uses less resource to do so. But what we really want is our logistics. This is probably the first thing we want to do. Lack of research items. So it's saying we've got no cogs and we've got no circuit board. So T. So to produce gears, component, there they are. How many do we need? 10. We've got enough to make 98. Let's set this to 10. Hit produce. It will set that going. And the other thing is circuit boards. Circuit boards, we have enough to produce 15 circuit boards. We need 10. So here 10. Produce, and I'll just queue that up. And as those items are manufactured, they get transferred to your research matrix, or whatever you want to call it, your research lab, so they don't go into inventory. This will just take a little while. While it's doing that, I'm just going to take the resources from these mining machines. Now coal. As I said, if you press C, you bring up your mecha panel. My power is currently 31 or 30 joules. I'm burning up energy, manufacturing and researching. I need to replenish that energy. From my inventory, I can use logs, plant fuzz fuel, I'll put that in there, and I'll start converting that to energy. Logs will do the same, but coal is much more energy dense. You see there, when I put that in, it just from 64 megajoule potential to 270. And my mecha power bar is going up in the bottom. Okay, just close all these. And we finished that initial research. So okay, that T, line up the next research.
You have received the sorter and the conveyor belt, which can achieve full automation now. Use the conveyor belt to transport the piled up ores from the mining machine, and the sorter can deliver the ores from the conveyor belt to the smelter for automatic smelting.
So smelter is the next thing. That is what I'm going for. So this one here. 10 magnetic coils and 10 circuit boards. Activate that. Enough to build 56. I want 10. So just produce them. Circuit boards. I need 10. Enough to build 46. So produce that. And just let that do its thing. That will then allow us to put smelters by our mining machines and just take the ore straight out the mining machine and smelt it straight into an ingot. It's a lot easier than transporting the ingots around. Obviously you can't do that with coal because coal's is the resource. It does get used in other ways for making graphene and things like that later on, but for the moment we're just happy with it being coal. So I need to build some more. Oh no, I build them. So wind power. We've built some more wind turbines. As you can see, they have an area of effect. You don't want them overlapping. You want to try and get them so they're close to each other but not overlapping the circles. Oh, get stuck. And you don't want them too close to your mining areas either. Okay, okay, I'll just put down the rest of these. So really I want to go over here. If I get through there. There's not much over this way, so if I stick these over here, I get the maximum benefit from them. And they do link through, so anything linked to your power network will link through. There's one more. Let's stick that way out here. For now, click on a Tesla tower. You can see it produces 1.3 megawatts. That's probably going to 1.8 as soon as that's built. There you go, 1.8 megawatts. Currently 72 kilowatts required because nothing's mining. If I take all the resources from the mining machines, I get closer to that one to do it. And now click on Tesla tower. You can now see that we actually need 1.26 megawatts. So it was consuming more energy when they're running. Once they've finished mining and they've got reached their maximum capacity, internal capacity, which is 50, the power consumption drops off. Okay, so we have now researched smelters and conveyors. So these are conveyors. By doing the research, it's given me 20 conveyors and 5 sorters. The sorters will take things from the conveyor belt into your building, or from your building and put them onto the conveyor belt. Not all of them, not all buildings, I should add. Some buildings have an output, such as the mining machine, which has a conveyor output. You can't straight from the back there. You don't need a sorter to do that. Okay, what's the other things we've got on here? Storage. So storage Mark 1. That's 30 slots. Each slot will hold up to 200 of certain items. It depends on what item it is. Some of it's 200, some it's 50, some it's 10, some is 100. It depends on the item. If you think it's 30 slots, 100 items and 30 slots, that's 3,000 items. Manufacturing, that's a smelter. So I want to put a smelter over here. Zoom in a bit. I don't want to put it there because the mining machine will produce more ore than the smelter can consume. So what I want to do is put down...
You built a smelter, which can smelt basic materials, such as iron ingots and copper ingots automatically, while you want to make the raw materials and products get in and out of it autonomously. You need to use sorters and conveyor belts.
I should have moved that over one, so it was the white line around the building is where you really need the conveyor belt to go. So I'll place that one there. If I shift...
You have a building without recipe set. Please set the recipe you want. After selecting the recipe, you can use the less than key to copy the recipe and the greater than key to paste the next building that needs to set the same recipe.
I can't delete it now. How do I get rid of the... Sorry, yeah, it's X. So I've dismantled that building, but it's gone back into my inventory. You don't lose it. Yeah, I can't place it that close. Okay, I'll place it here. There we go. And now conveyor belt. So that's like a little road symbol. So on the conveyor belt coming out of...
When putting a conveyor belt, all you need to do is determine the starting point and the end point of it. In addition, use the up arrow key to lift up one level, and use the down arrow key to drop down one level after the conveyor belt is lifted. Press keypad 0 to reset the construction height of the conveyor belt to the ground. If you don't want the conveyor belt to be attached to the building, you can try holding down the shift key.
It's really frustrating sometimes in interrupting. So yes, I'm going to say this mining machine has its own output. You don't need a sorter on this. I can click on the output and just drag, and you can see the dotted line. That tells you how many conveyor belts you're going to need to place that item. What is on about the up and down is, if I press the up key, you can see now there's a little line before it hits the circle, which means it's up 1 level. And again, it's up 2 levels. And again, 3 levels, 4 levels, and you can keep going for several more levels. But I'm just going to bring it down to ground level. There's no little tails underneath the circles, so it's at ground level there. Just click that. Right click to deselect the build menu. My construction drones go and build the conveyor belts. The mining machine has outputted the resources, and now we need to take those resources and import them into
The sorter
smelter.
is a transportation connector of cargoes between facilities. It will automatically transport them as long as the supply facility and the receiving facility are bridged.
Finished? Thank you. Right, so to take a resource from a conveyor belt into a building, you click on the conveyor belt and then you drag to the building. You can see there's a little blue outline there, if I zoom in a bit more, of the sorter. Click on it and my construction drone has built it. Same again here, left click on the conveyor belt, left click on the building. If I want it to come out of the building, which I will do on the other side quickly, I'll just zoom out a bit. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of this tree. If we put down, I'm going to build a storage container. What do I need? Stone bricks. Okay, so let me just quickly mine some stone. So I can just mine stones off from a landscape by right clicking on them. There are areas like this for stone, but I can't see any around here at the moment, so I'm just quickly mining a stone from the landscape. That should be more than enough. Now I'll come back over here. I want to build a mark on storage, press F to bring up the menu, to building, mark on storage, click on it. I only want one, click on that, and let it quickly manufacture it. And there we go. So I want to place this. I want to put a conveyor belt. Let's turn around a minute. I want to put a conveyor belt down here. So I'm taking the smelted iron ingots, putting them on a conveyor belt, which will go off to production facilities. But I want a storage unit as a buffer. So the way to do that is if I build. Let's start with a conveyor belt. Just build a short conveyor belt. That'll do. A conveyor belt also travels in a direction you lay it down, so if you click over here, first click over here, second click over here, it will move goods in that direction. If I want to go the other way, I have to click first over this side and then over here. Hope that makes sense. Right, okay, so let's get rid of this tree as well, so you can see what we're doing. Right. So, sorters. I want to place the sorter down to take material from the building and put on a conveyor belt, so excuse me a bit. So I left click on the building and then left click on the conveyor belt, and the sorter was built to output the materials. You can see there's an arrow there. So the same for the next one. The reason it's not doing it at the moment is one, I haven't set the recipe, and two, we haven't got enough power over here. So first thing, I'm just building this up to show you, and then I'll sort out the power. So those two are taking iron ore from that side, going to smelt it into ingots, I'll put it on this side. I want those ingots to go currently into a storage unit to act as a buffer. So place that storage unit beside.
You built a storage, which can be used to store cargo. You can manually store or use the sorter to automatically stock the cargo.
I put a storage unit beside the conveyor belt rather than in line with it because I want to use it as a buffer. I've only got one sorter at the moment, so I need to build a couple more sorters. So F, bring up your build menu to building, sorter. Let's just build 5 for now. I'll build them fairly quickly. Okay, there we go, they're built effectively. So build sorter, I want to take material from the belt into my storage unit, and then I want it to come from the storage unit back out to the belt. So what will happen then is later in the game when I've got this going to the buildings and it's backlogged and the materials aren't being moved down and consumed, they will still take the output from the mining machine, smelt into ingots and store them in the Mark 1 storage until that's full, and that gives us a buffer. Then if we have a run on material or run on production and we need more iron ingots and we can actually get out of our mining machine and smelters, we've got that buffer in the storage unit. Now currently we're not going to power over here, so I need to put down a Tesla tower somewhere close by. So I'll stick that there, covers all those buildings. They've now all got power, so the power lines have gone away. This little cog means that I need to set up this building. So if I left click on the building, I have to select what I want it to do. It's a smelter, it can only do a few things. It can smelt iron ingots from iron ore, copper ingots from copper ore, stone bricks from stone, magnets from iron ore, or glass from silicon. They're from stone. It is stone here. You've also got silicon as a resource, but there's not usually much, if any, on the starting world. So we'll get that later. So anyway, these are taking iron ore. I want to produce iron ingots. And what he was on
After
about
selecting the recipe, you can use the less than key to copy the recipe and the greater than key to paste the next building that needs to set the same recipe.
So what he's saying is I can copy this recipe rather than having to go into the next one and find it from the list. I can just click copy, select my next building, my next smelter, paste, and that is now producing the same thing. That's all it means. And as you can see, what is happening is they're outputting the iron ingots. They're being taken into my storage because there's nothing attached here, there's nowhere for them to go, so they're just going to build up in my storage from now on until that's full. I think it's 200 per stack in here, if I remember correct. Might be 100. I think it's 100 actually. 100 for iron ingots. We'll find out in a moment. But as you can see, the conveyor belt's still not continuously running for the mining machine. So what I can do later on is I can add a third one, which, yeah, it's 100, there we go, it's 100. A third smelter, which will just about maximise that, the efficiency of that mining machine. So that's our iron ore sorted out currently. Actually what I want to do is I want to produce magnets in a bit, because they are required quite early on, along with copper and steel. So down here I want to do a similar thing. I want to smelt. If I stick a smelt on this side where it's actually close to the power supplies, there we go. I want to take, I've only got 4 conveyors. Okay, I'll stick them there. That red means I've run out of conveyors. I don't have enough to build them, so if I just click to there for now. Right click to go to that. Go to the build menu. I have to bring it up my build menu. Build options, conveyors. So they're built from steel ingots and iron cogs. You need hundreds of these, literally. So I'm going to line up 20. What I can do to speed things up actually is I can take 100 iron plates cancel this just by right clicking on it and then do it again, and all it's got to do now is build the cogs or the gears rather than smelt the iron plates as well. I also need another smelter, so I'll queue one of those up, and I also want another storage unit, so I'll queue one of those up. How many? I've got 4 of those, so you know what, I'll queue another 5 of those up as well. Early in the game you find you're waiting around quite a bit just for things to be manufactured. Not a lot you can do about that. It does get a lot more hectic, and you probably fill this world with machinery, conveyor belts and other things, research and power generation devices as the game goes on. How long has that been? 42 minutes, okay. So we'll just finish setting up the copper storage, copper ingots manufacturing, so I don't want that one, I want that there. Lay down enough conveyor belt, bring some conveyor belt down here, storage unit, sorters from conveyor into building, I'm putting these in the middle at the moment. They don't have to be actually on this side. I can come out, because that's 3 wide, I can actually come out at the ends, like so. Same with the storage, I can come out of any one of these sides where there's wide, as long as there's something for it to go onto. In this case I want to come out there. And I just want to set these up as copper ingot, copy that, paste, and there we go. So that's an initial start anyway. It's been quite long-winded and I appreciate that, trying to explain what things are, but we now have copper ingots being built, steel or iron ingots being built, and we have coal available. If we click on our mecha, you can see we've used up all our fuel that was there, burnt all that, but we've refilled our energy bar. C to close out, T to bring up our next thing. Basically we just want to start building our production facilities, assemblers, so we can start manufacturing items remotely rather than to do it within our mecha. So I'll activate that, and that's 10 gear, 10 circuit boards. I had some on me, so they've already been transferred to research. You can queue up things, so what we've got here now, vertical construction. Certain buildings can be stacked, that's basically what that's saying, but you need the red matrix to do that. So the only thing we're going to do here is our mecha core. Queue that because I've got the resources available to it. It's just purely copper plate, iron plate, and then I'll quickly manufacture the components. 20 circuit boards, I'll do that, and gears, do the same on that. Build those so we can get this research done quickly. Now I'll end there once I've done this research. And this is Dyson Sphere. See the sun, planets, sorry, the stars going by in the background as the planet rotates. You do leave the planet later in the game. You've got to fly to other planets. Let me go for zoom out a bit. That's the planet we're on currently. That's just telling us assembler research is done. It's now working on the next research, which is our mecha core. So there's our planet. We're in a binary system, actually a moon around a gas giant, I guess. There are 2 other planets in our system. Scroll out, you can see then the star clusters, and we will later be jumping to these star clusters. You do have to start mining resources on other planets and other star systems, and as transporters to automate all that later on. But for now, let's just zoom back in. And 3 more research to do. And we will leave it there. Mecha core 40, and now of 140 capacity. Okay, thanks for watching guys. This is Dragonfly out.